The question is related to where the design process is started. You can answer me. Anyone can answer me. Where the design process is started from. Generally, the design process is started from customer need. Based on the customer need, you may start the literature review in market. After conducting marketing review, you may produce the design with the conceptual design things and the detailed design things. Here, I want to show you one example. Here, you may see this is one kind of example which is also known as hub, which has the one step and also in that two diameter, different diameter holes. From that, I can make the hub. This hub is used to assemble the components. As like in our lathe, the chuck is available. The chuck is connected with the headstock assembly with the aid of this hub. And also, drill tool also uh, built to quill also join with this hub. Okay, so hub is one of the main component in mechanical assembly. For producing this hub, we can produce two steps as like number one step, number step two step. Not only external step we may produce with the center lathe. After that, inside of it you may see the two holes available. For producing the step hole, we initially utilize the drill bit. From the drill bit, we can produce the smaller diameter hole. After that, if I need the second step of hole means, I may go for the boring toolbar, which is known as boring bar. From that boring bar, I may produce the next diameter hole. Likewise, we may produce the step hole components, which is called as hub for the assembly. Here, one of the difficulty is available. What is the difficulty? Yes, the difficulty is if I want to enlarge the hole, this internal hole diameter is 25 mm, but the second step hole is 30 mm means I can't get 25 mm to 30 mm with one single pass of boring bar so that I can introduce a number of passes for produce the 30 mm diameter hole. For the reason in our conventional lathe, we may give different passes, but in CNC machine, if I produce the different diameter holes means I may purchase the toolbars. Okay, the toolbar. The toolbar is looking like this. Okay, the toolbar is looking like this. In the toolbar, adjust the we can adjust the boring tool with the aid of this Allen key. Likewise, we may adjust the hole. From this, I can get n number of boring diameter holes. Okay, this but this single spindle costs around 25,000 to 30,000. In CNC machine, I want to produce 100 diameter bore or 200 diameter bore. The two conditions are available. One is 100 mm diameter bore hole, another one is 200 mm diameter hole. So I purchase one boring bar for 100 mm hole, but I can't produce 200 mm diameter hole with the aid of the same 100 mm boring bar. For the reason, I have to have go for purchase another toolbar, which is also cost around 20,000 or 25,000. So 50,000 I spent for producing two boreholes. For avoiding this, in our campus, myself and my students are invented this kind of projects, which is one of the final year projects of mechanical engineering student. Okay, so from this he introduces the same shank part available, but he introduced one hub part. In that hub part, there is transient movement boring bar available. With the aid of Allen key, he may adjust the transient boring bar with this assembly. From this, I can get the exact dimension. For getting the exact dimension, we may utilize the micrometer. We may utilize the measuring instrument it into the machining bar itself. How I connect my micrometer? Yes, already you know about micrometer, which is the micrometer. I can connect this micrometer with this Allen key hole. From that, I can get the different diameter, exact dimensions with this toolbar. Likewise, I may create the component. Here, our topic is design thinking. What is the relationship? I may produce the boring bar. From this boring bar, I can produce n number of holes with a single boring bar. From this, I can avoid lot of investment, huge investment in industrial shop floor. So, we may, myself and my students invented this boring bar, and our student got patented from the Indian Patent Office. Okay. Now our student tries to convert this product into startups. The startups, so students project not only getting the mark, which may be converted it into create the startups, their own startups. From their startups, they can earn the money or they settle in society. Likewise, lot of importance are available with your degree projects. So you may concentrate more on your projects. From that, you may get the very good output as like a product. So we can enrich our life also. Okay. So every student should aware about how do I develop the product. For the reason we may study the engineering degree. So how do I develop the product? If I want to develop the product means first I do create the design. How do I create the design? This is my next question. Already aware about one of the components as a project. But now you may go with my presentation. From that, you may aware how do I think as a design manner, how do I convert that design thinking it into product. Now we can discuss. Okay, for the reason I may share my presentation to you. Yeah, students, can you see my presentation? Anyone answer me, please? I request you. Students, can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, today we can discuss the topic about design thinking and the project work for engineering students. So here how the design work is started. Design thinking is an approach used for practical and creative problem solving. What is problem solving? Already I told about you that how do I make a different diameter bore with a single toolbar, which is the problem. How do I solve that problem, which is the major question in engineering industries. Engineering industries means in the engineering industrial shop floor. So that you may aware about how do I solve the problem, how do I identify the problem. Okay, every problem solving method combines what's desirable. Desirable means what feasible study. What is my target for achieving the target? What are all the equipment I should have in that equipment? How do I perform the process? So four M's are important in industries. What are all the M's? Men, machine, material, and the methods. So the method comes under process. So I may utilize different process for solving the problems. So every problem solving methods or deals with the customer need. So this is the important step in engineering industries we should follow. For the industrial problem solving, every student should aware about what is problem solving and how do I solve the problem. Likewise, every student should aware. Okay. So before going into the topic, what is design thinking? What is design thinking? Uh, Design thinking is an approach used for practical and creative problem solving. So, design thinking has different phases. I can show you now what all the phases are available in design thinking. Yeah. First step is empathize. Empathize always follows what I know and what I don't know. So empathize means understanding of users, what I know and what I don't know, what I know about the customer need, what I don't know about the customer need. So first, I understand my users. After that, after understanding of users, I may go to define the problem. So according to my customer's request or customer need, the problem may identify. So what is the problem? Second step, what is the problem? Uh, how do I solve that problem? Where your user problem occurred. So that these are all the steps are available with the define the problem. After defining the problem, so now I get the problem from customers. After getting the problem, I may define the problem. After defining the problem, I may move to ideate the problem. What is ideate? I may conduct some brainstorm work. Brainstorm work means how do I solve that problem? The question is how do I solve that problem? Based on that, how do I solve the problem? I may generate different ideas. So in ideate position, I may generate different ideas. Okay. After generating the ideas, I may pick the best idea from that n number of ideas. Based on that selected idea, I may develop the prototype. Prototype means one of the samples which what I developed with my conceptual design and detailed design. So prototype, after developing the prototype, generally the prototype is used to representation of selected idea from the pool of ideas. From that developed prototype means some model, some conceptual model. We can test that model. Next step is goes to step test that model. Test. How do I conduct the test? Just if I measure the micrometer, what I shown you the starting of presentation, is it enough? Not enough. So feedback collection from users. I develop the prototype. I give the prototype to the market. From the market, I analyze how do my model is working from the users or customers. Based on the collected feedback, I may get the problems again from the developed prototype. After developing the prototype, I may go for testing condition. After testing, all the problems are solved on the component. I implement the test results to that component so I can give it into the market. So I achieve my vision of the product, which is comes under vision into effect. So my product is developed and the same product is given to industry, which are all the steps are available in design thinking. Generally, the design thinking has three stages, which are first stage is understand. Understand means here you see empathize and define. Those empathize what I know and what I don't know. From that question, I understand my users and define the problem. When I define the problem, I understand total of my problems and my customer's problem. So those comes under empathize and define. Those comes under understand phase. The next phase is explore. Explore comes under ideate and prototype. Now you generate n number of ideas. From that n number of ideas, I choose one best idea. From that best idea, I may develop the model. That model is called as prototype. So these two, ideate and the prototype, are comes under exploration area. Just to understand the problem and then I explore the problem. These two steps are not enough. I may go for produce the product as a real manner, realistic manner. For the reason, the third phase, I go for third phase as sorry. Third phase is materialize. In materialize, I may convert my product, my developed prototype model, it into the market. So I materialize the model. So Design thinking always comes under three phases. Those are understand, the second one is explore, third one is materialize. If I follow these three steps, I can achieve the product development, new product development through the engineering concepts. So every engineering student should aware about how do I understand the problem, how do I explore that problem, how do I materialize that problem and solve the problem of my user to the in the market. These are all the things should aware about by engineers. After thinking, here you see there are six things I told you, isn't it? Empathize, define, ideate, explore, prototype, test, and implement. Here I want to explain every step individually. Here you know. The first step is empathize. Empathize means design the solutions for the problem and how to develop a deeper understanding of users. So the empathize related with the understanding of problems. So my model or my product is not just a good looking design. It may perform well. Okay. So, and also my user may understand my product. For example, if you are consider your cell phone, every student or every faculty member understand how to operate the cell phone. So our product should understandable. After that, the designers already told you students, all the students are aware about how do I operate my cell phone. So designers should feel the unity with the user. So if you design cell phone means you should aware about your students, I mean your customers. After customers feel identification only, you may go the for the empathize area. In empathize area, the first step is deals with the different five questions, which are first one is what you know and what you don't know. Already I told you that what you know and what you don't know. First you analyze. Take the already available product in market, you analyze like what you know and what you don't know. After that, you connect with the need. What is connect with the need? Customers need for solving that problem in market, so that you may have what you know and what you know idea, what you don't know idea. You may connect that question with the customer need, which is the second step. Third step, for solving that problem, you may utilize a different research approaches. Based on the research approaches, how do I solve that problem? So likewise, you may connect you with your user or you with your customer. So for replace the research approaches, you may utilize three questions. What is my problem? And why this problem causes? And how do I solve the problem? These three questions are important. So what, why, how? The three questions are important. After reading these three questions, you may learn the thing. How do I solve the problem? What, why, how? After learning the thing with this question, you may identify the solutions. So, after identifying the solution, you may share the identified solutions to your committee members or your users or your customers. This all comes under in empathize step. After completing the empathize step, you may move to the next step. The next step is define. Sorry, 1 minute. Yeah. Already I told you that empathize. After completing empathize, three questions are important, and already I told you that what, why, and how. Here, what question? What question always engage with the uh, problem. What is the problem? Okay. After identifying the problem, you may go with the why question. Why question gives the clear picture of problem and its own challenges. Okay. After how question is more important than why. So how question is related with the literature review. Literature review not only with paperwork, which may market survey. Okay, in market, what are all the problems came with the already available product. Every engineer analyze the problem in market. From that market problem analysis only, the new product can be developed in engineering shop floor or conceptual design in detailed design area. After completing the empathize phase with the three questions, I may define the problem. Next step is define. Here, what is define? Yeah, consolidate and outline the problem. The problem may be looking like a noodles plate, but we don't need a noodles from the noodles plate. But I need only one rice from the total n number of rice particles. From that, I can go in for solve that
பரவாயில்ல இது
particular rice problem. Yeah,
நான் ஊர்தல இல்லை
yes, student. Yeah.
బాగా
Define is consider first unknowns aligns to new knowledge. Second step consider refine research findings. Third is consider start to express solution stories. Fourth step generate collaborative problem statements. Fifth one is record the solutions. So define how do I define the problem? What are all the unknowns are available with that problem? First, I have to identify what are all I know, what I don't know. Likewise, I classify the problem. After classification of the problem, I refine the research findings. I may collect the data from these what, how, why, how questions. I may refine the research findings. After that, after identifying the exact problem, I may express my solutions stories for that problem. From that, I can generate collaborative problem statements from the team. After collecting the data from my team, I may record the different solutions on the paper. Okay, these are all the things are available in defined phase. Here also, the same three questions are came, which are what, why, and how. Here, in defined area, what question is dealt with define a clear problem. It is not a generalized problem. The problem should be specific. After that, why I sort out this problem and why I solve that specific challenge from the entire model. Likewise, I may ask the question in a defined phase. After that, I move to how question. The how question is give the direction of a solution. Okay, so these three questions are important in defined area. So in define, we may conclude or we may get the full satisfaction with the understanding phase. After completing the understanding phase, I may move to exploration phase. The exploration phase is started from idea. How do I generate the idea? For example, if you are consider in your classroom, your teacher asks you a question, but every students are ready to answer that question means any number of students may available to answer that question. So your teacher conducted a small brainstorming for getting the solution from you. From that, he may aware about how do I explore my student. So brainstorming is important in your classroom itself. So he conducted the brainstorming. From that brainstorming, he may collected n number of ideas, which is the ideate phase. So the first step in ideate phase is lead with the problem needs, as like your teacher proposes the question in your classroom. After that, involvement of multifunctional teams. In your class, there are three ways available. From three ways, the students give multi answers for that question. So involvement generation is also important. I told you that classroom is one of the understanding of your imagination. So that I will tell you. After that, formulate the rules from the multifunctional ideas, we may formulate the new ideas. After formulate the idea, detached ideas and evaluation. From your ideation process, lot of unwanted ideas may be developed. So we may remove that unwanted ideas from the pool of idea. So detachment is also important. After detachment, we may evaluate the exact solution for the identified problem in customer need. After identifying the best solution, the next question came with my mind is how to communicate my idea. Yeah, this is the next question. Yeah, I will tell you with the next step. Here also the three questions are available in idea phase, which are what, why, and how. What question is always deal with the what are all the potential ideas are developed from the brainstorming phase and why. Why question is always deals with the quantity of ideas, okay, rather than quality. Here in this idea phase, they are not considering about the quality of ideas, but how much of ideas are came. Likewise, they may analyze. After completing this task, we may go to important question, which is how. So, in how phase ideation techniques may deals with, I already told you that brainstorming. Okay, from that brainstorm, how do I develop the brainstorming phase in classroom or industrial shop floor? And worst area. Worst area means lot of students are not attending the class perfectly, so that how do I get the answers from them? Likewise, in shop floor also, lot of supervisors, lot of operators, lot of helpers may not give the exact solution. In this framework also, we may collect the exact solutions. How do I get? Yes, this is the question. You may identify the question with your discipline. You may get the ideas, different ideas which for completing this phase. After completing the idea phase, we can move to prototype. What is prototype? Prototype is the model what I want to generate as a product. So the model may have different scales, but prototype has the exact scale of what I want to produce in market. Okay, so the prototype plays differently as with the models. So prototype is a representation of potential solutions. This also has different five steps. Those are keep the problem in mind. Every engineer should keep the problem in mind. After getting the problem, he plan the scope of testing. After producing the part, how do I test the product? After that, take the action against the test results. I may conduct the test. From this test, I may get the different solutions. So for that the solutions are maybe a problem. So takes the action against that test results. These are all the important facts in industrial shop floor also. So after taking the action, choose the right tools for solving the problem. Already I showed you here example, isn't it? The boring bar in drill bit. So I may get the tools for uh, understanding of your class. Okay. After that, record the questions of testing. What are all the tests I conducted and how do I sort? Okay. According to this presentation, I may place generally three questions, which are what, why, and how. So here also the same question I have. Here, record the question of testing. Here also, the answer for what, why, and how. Here, what question in testing, prototype phase deals with the scaled down versions of the product or concept you want to test. What you want to test is that product, which is the first question. After that, why I do conduct that test. After that, how that test to be conducted on prototype in various forms. Various forms means you may produce the soap means it may looking in morning differently and afternoon differently and the night differently. So different testing to be conducted on soap itself. So likewise, we may produce as an engineer, we may produce a lot of product. So test, how do I conduct the test is the important question. Now I come to test. Test means not the examination. Test means it is a collection of feedback. The collection of feedback, how do I conduct the test? After that, how do identify who is to perform that test? In industry HR floor, there are three W questions are available. Okay, when, where, what, and also who. The 5W on its sheet also available. Who, when, what, where, and then how. H question also available so that identify who is to perform that test. Next question. After that, consider research logistics. How do I test the component? How do I transfer the component from machine to measurement area? So a lot of logistics concept is incorporated in testing area. After that, test the results with the users. You may give the component to the user or customer. They may use and they may tell you the feedback about the product. Not only the metrology engineer, the customer also tells the problems associated with the product. So after completing these tasks, you may identify needed to perform test. After customer satisfaction results, you may perform the test. From these five phases, you may identify the solution. Here, the two questions are important, which is what and how. Why question is not needed. Why I want to measure that? No needed. Okay. So what? Here, what means the testing phases enables you to see where your prototype works. Already I told you with the soap example. From that soap example, you may understand how do I my prototype is work. After that, how question is that working on depending on what you are testing and the prototype can take different form. Likewise, we may analyze the product. So these are all comes under design thinking. Now you may aware about what is design thinking. After that, critical thinking is also important for engineers. The critical thinking means observation, experience on that product, reflection of your results, and the reasoning of your ideas or communication. These are all the critical thinking. So after critical thinking, dispositions under criteria place. Okay, disposition means critical thinkers are skeptical, open-minded, value, fair, mindedness, and respect evidence and the reasoning. So always critical thinking engineer is the open-minded in market. After that, he value the product and he respect the evidence and the reasoning. Okay, these are all the things important with the critical thinking facts. After in critical thinking disposition, there is criteria available. So every critical thinking engineer, he has critical mind. How do I critically think? Yes, he may must apply criteria. Already I told you criteria has the observation, I mean, very skeptical, open-minded, value fair mindedness, respect to evidence, and the reasoning. These are all the things he should apply on the product. Need to have conditions that must be met for something to be judged as believable. This all comes based on asking question habit, and based on the asking questions, he may judge the answers, and he may identify the best assumptions from the judgments. These are all the important questions. You may become a critical thinking engineer. Okay. Yeah, so how do I conduct the critical thinking? Yes, different phases are available. First one is define the question. What, how, why? These are all the questions. How do I define the answer for that question in that area? After that, gather information and the resources from your team group. For example, if you are consider you are having the 4 persons in your project, so you may gather the information from all the 4 members. From the 4 members, you may identify what the resources required to complete the project. After that, form an explanatory hypothesis. Hypothesis means it is based on your confidence level. From that your confidence level, you may fix the hypothesis. The hypothesis chance causes and assignable causes available. Chance causes means in mother environment automatically all the products are reacted. But chance causes means if I pour the water on component means it may corrode. So Charles comes under chance causes. So two causes are available, chance cause and assignable cause. If I assign the problem on the product means this are all comes under assignable cause. If automatically the product has the problem means it comes under chance cause. So every engineer should aware about the hypothesis. Hypothesis performing an experiment. For understanding the product think I may conduct a random experiment on the product. From that random experiment, I may collect the data. From the collected the data, I may aware about the uh, process. So here analyze the data and interpret the data. Based on the data analysis, I may get the conclusions. After getting the conclusion, I may publish the results to my customers in the marketplace. Okay. So these are all the things. In between, one thing, important thing is place innovation. Okay. Here I may ask you a question. What is invention? What is meant by innovation? Invention. Okay. Your cell phone is the invention. Innovation means that invented cell phone is converted it into Android cell phone nowadays. In previous days, it may be a button type cell phone. Nowadays, it may converted into touch screen. So the button type is invented one. Touch screen is innovated one. So every engineer should aware about what is invention and what is innovation. So design innovation, where we go for design thinking, we should aware about the design innovation. So design innovation is always generating ideas that are humanly desirable, technologically feasible, and financially viable. In olden days, your cell phone has a little bit of cost. It may around 2,000 or 4,000. Now the cell phone costs around 10,000 or 15,000. It may cost around nowadays 60,000 also. So different study is important. So generating ideas. I may generate the idea for solving the problems with the customers. So customer has a number of problems. For I give the solution to the problem means I can increase my cost based on humanly desirable. The cell phone is technologically feasible to that person. After that, it may financially viable. If I spent 60,000 means I am needed that. If my customer told me that I needed that means I may give that with the 60,000 rupees cost. So every design engineer should aware about technologically feasible product and the financially viable product in market. These are all the innovation things to be needed for engineering design thinking process. After that, I may share with you one product. Students, are you tired with my presentation? I believe. So, in Andhra Pradesh also there are sugar cane cultivation is available, I believe. So, sugar cane harvester in olden days, the uh, vehicle of cows are used to transfer the sugar cans from agriculture land to the bank of river. Nowadays, it may converted. How? In here you see there are a lot of cows are available. The sugar can fall thing like a forest. So there are a lot of snakes are available. It may bite the farmers. From that biting the farmers may dead. So the engineer should give the life of farmers. Okay, so engineers makes the world and the engineers makes the healthy world also. So for avoiding the death of farmers, we may move to some mechanization in sugarcane harvester. Before that, I generally will tell you the question what, why, and how. Already I told you what is the problem. The transportation of material is the difficult problem, and the farmer accidental death is also one of the problem. These are all the problem. This comes under what question? After that, my second question is why sugarcane harvester transporting the material from farms to roads, which means the lorry and other things, and I may save the uh, farmers from the snake. Okay, these are all the things I considered to produce the sugarcane harvester. So I may next, how do I give the solutions to them? Yes, for giving the answer for how to build a machine to reduce the work of harvesting sugarcane, to reduce the farmer's work. And then the second how question is deals with to cut and separate the cane and the sheet in the field itself. Field itself, I may separate the, I may in field itself, I may cut the sugar cans, and after that I may load on the lorries, vehicles, load on the vehicles. This is the solution I can provide to the farmers. So, challenges for giving the solution to the farmers, I may meet the challenges are already available. The huge machines. I may meet the challenges as like cannot cover small field areas in my farms. After that, from that huge machines, I may produce more wastages. And then periodical maintenance cost is also huge with my machines, with the huge machine. And very high tooling cost and operating cost is needed. and high cost when leased. So these are all the challenges available with the huge machines. For fulfilling the challenge or avoiding these challenges, I may go for making the portable machines. So portable, if I want to produce the portable machine means portable and they can be easily assembled in the field. In field itself, the machine components I may dismantle. After that, I may assemble and I can use the drive shaft for operating the mechanisms that is involved in the overall machine. For operating the drive shaft, I may utilize uh, the pneumatic or hydraulic power drive. I may produce the thing within my laboratory itself. You may see the sample video for producing the mechanism for operating the machine. Here I can show you. Yeah, this is the reciprocating pump. I mean compressor. Compressor can operate the cutter with the air pump and the conveyor with the air pump. And the bottom also one of the cutter. I can explain the same product with the field itself. Okay. So the cutter, these are all the general idea I may develop with my group of students. They may give, sir, why not I use the air pump? Why not I use the compressor for operating the machine rather than the IC engine? So based on my students' idea, I may generate the cutter with the hydraulic and pneumatic pump operated sugar cane cutter. This is a real model. I received the patent from International Patent Office. My students also. Okay. So I can explain the performance of this machine with another slide. Okay. So after the replacement of already available IC engine to compressor, I may use the cutter for cutting the sugar cans. Two different cutters for the shield and the can which will separate them and pile them separately. So I can cut the single sugar can it into two or three pieces from the available resources. Okay. These are all the mechanisms I ideated from the students and I generate the model as a practical manner. From the student ideas, I may get the potential solutions for the sugarcane harvester. Why not? You also do your potential ideas with your faculty. Okay. So if I develop the model, but it has some risks. Those are field testing, patent, and environmental effects. So I may develop the product and I go to field. In that field, I may conduct some experiment in field itself with the student, a group of students. Here you see the students may produce the project as a product and they test their developed product in field itself. Already they are aware about what is the problem, how do I solve, how do I test the machine? Yes, they started to test the machine. Yeah, cuts or not? Yes, the developed product is cut the sugar cans which is available in the field. The top blade is used to cut the leaf of the sugar cane. It separates the leaf of the sugar cane. Yeah, you see the top cutter which is operated by air pump, which cuts the. We may vary the height of the top blade. So from this, the sugar cane top leaf is cutted. After that, bottom blade is used to cut the bottom of the sugar. Here you see the bottom blade is used to cut the entire sugar cane with the aid of compressed air pump. Okay, these are all the things we have. Yeah. So the total sugar cane is cutted. After cutted the sugar cane is separated from the land, but it's falling down the ground. For the reason, this is also problem. For the reason, my students have developed the conveyor. Yeah, in middle of the machine there is conveyor available. The cutted sugar cans are falling down on the conveyor. Based on the falling down, the cutted sugar cans are kept with some baskets available in nearby the machine. Likewise, my students are developing the project. This is also one of the products. My students are developed the startup with this identified product. Now they are getting the fund from Tamil Nadu government startup activities. Their laboratory. This product is developed within our mechanical engineering department laboratory. Not going any external workshop and not going with any external members. My faculty members, my technicians, and my students simply complete the project within our laboratory itself. These are all the things we can do in our engineering colleges itself. Okay. So you may have the confidence means you may create the idea, you may create the based on your created idea, you may get the solutions. Based on your solutions, you may develop the prototype. After developing the prototype, you may test the prototype in the field. After that, you may give that it into the market. Not only market, you may start the your own startup. If I want to start the startup means I first, based on the collected information, based on the collected feedback, I may develop the detailed design in my CAD CAM laboratory itself after getting the problem. Here you see, in previously available only one cutter available. Here I introduced four cutters. From that four built conveyors cutter, I can separate the sugar cane cutter. I can cut the sugar cans it into the four parts. From that four parts, I can easily pack the cutted sugar cans on the lorries. So transportation is also important. So based on the collected feedback from the field testing, I may generate the newer idea. From that idea, I produce the newer machine to the market. So my project is not only completed with this task, I may transfer that prototype it into the other fields, paddy field and also corn field. Likewise, I may generate the newer machines. So from this also, my students are developing different startups for their life enhancement. So after developing this, my students get innovation product from International Patent Office and your HOD, Dr. G. Navnitha Krishnan sir, and myself, Dr. B. Suresh Kumar, jointly published the paper, the boring and drilling paper with high impact factor journal, Journal of Manufacturing and Research and Technology with the elsewhere publisher. You also publish the papers with the high reputed journal and you also get the innovation patent from the International Patent Office. Here you see adjustable compact sugar cane cutting machine with the artificial intelligence. I convert that machine it into artificial intelligence. Likewise, we may produce the product for starting my startup and also I may conduct my research work. You may conduct your research work also and publish your paper, work it into a paper. These are all the things you may perform with this design thinking concept with your final year project itself. Okay. I believe you may aware something about my presentation. Now I have completed my presentation. Thank you. Thank you, students. If you are having any doubts, you may please ask me. Students, or you have any doubts in this presentation? Students, or you have any doubts? You please ask me.
No, sir.
Yeah, please tell me. Do you have any doubts? 2 to 3 p.m. I completed my presentation exactly with the 3 p.m. If you are having any doubts, you please ask me. So you don't have any doubts, sir?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Thank you very much for your kind cooperation and the kind attention with my presentation. Thank you all. Navneet Krishnan, sir. Students, my presentation may help you all or not. Kindly tell me.